Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a grammatical explanation from the Arab American Language Institute in Morocco, also known as AALIM. This grammatical explanation is about the definite article in Arabic, also known as Alif Lam, from the two letters that make it up. Now, before we discuss what is the definite article in Arabic, it might be worth it to look back and see what is a definite article. In fact, it's best that we start from an even bigger question. What are articles in language? What does article as a grammatical term mean? So first we'll look at articles in English, and then we'll use our knowledge of articles in English as a springboard to make a comparison to articles in Arabic. So what is an article? Briefly put, an article is something we put before a noun to indicate whether it is specific or non-specific. In English, we use the definite article the to refer to one specific thing or group of things, and we use the indefinite article a or an to refer to one non-specific thing. Here are some examples of usage of these two. So looking at the definite article, here's an example where it's referring to one specific thing. So if I tell someone, give me the book on my shelf, I'm referring to one specific book. That means there's one specific book on my shelf, say Catcher in the Rye, that I want. And I'm asking the person to give me that one particular specified book. You can also use the in English to refer to a specific group of things. So if you say, I use the plates with the gold pattern on them, that means, of all the plates that I have one set of plates that have a gold pattern on them. This is one specific set of plates, and these are the ones that I use. So I'm singling out one specific group, one specific individual set of plates. And finally, to give an example of the usage of the indefinite article a or an, if I tell someone, give me a book from my shelf, that means give me any book from my shelf. I don't have any particular book in mind. You could give me Catcher in the Rye, you could give me War and Peace, you could give me any book that I have. I don't care which one, I just want you to give me some random book. Now, in addition to nouns that take definite or indefinite articles, there are also certain nouns that we don't put an article in front of at all. These are usually nouns that refer to general concepts or abstract things. So one example here, we would say in English, I always want to eat candy. Candy here is a general concept. If I say I always want to eat candy, then I'm not referring to any specific type of candy. I'm just referring to candy in general. This is why in English we don't say I always want to eat the candy or I always want to eat a candy. Here it's just candy because it's a general concept, it's a general category. In relation to an abstract thing, if I say I like democracy, well, democracy is an abstract concept. It's not something you can feel or see or touch. This is why we say I like democracy in English with no article, as opposed to putting an article in front of it and saying I like the democracy or I like a democracy. So to sum up what we've said, in English, there are some cases where you want to refer to one specific thing or set of things. In those cases, we use the definite article the. There are some cases where we want to refer to one non-specific thing. In those cases, we use the indefinite article a or an. And then finally, if we want to refer to a general concept or an abstract thing, in those cases, we use no article. So that's the situation in English. So how does that compare to the situation with articles in Arabic? So to begin with, Arabic has a definite article just like English does. The definite article in Arabic is spelled Alif Lam and pronounced al. And it shares some of its functions with the English definite article the. For example, like the English word the, it can be used to indicate a specific thing or a specific group of things. As an example, if I say أريد التفاحة الخضراء, that means, in English, I want the green apple. So here, the use of the definite article, just like the use of the definite article in English, indicates that there's one specific individual apple that I'm thinking of, which in this case happens to be green. So here, just like in English, the definite article is used to pick out one specific individual thing. In this case, a green apple. It can also, like the English definite article, refer to a specific set of things. So if I say أريد الكتب الروسية, that means I want the Russian books. What that means is there's a bunch of different types of books present, but I only want the specific set of books that are Russian. I only want the works of Dostoevsky and the works of Tolstoy, you can leave the works of Shakespeare. So, like in English, here the definite article is used to pick out a specific set of things. In this case, all the books that are Russian. In terms of indefinite articles, so we said English has the indefinite article a or an. Arabic has no such indefinite article. If you want to talk about a single non-specific thing, in Arabic, you don't put any article in front of the noun. You just use the noun by itself. So, in other words, there's no word that corresponds to a or an in Arabic. You just use the noun and don't stick any article before it. So, in this example, if I say urid tufaha, literally that's I want apple, but it means I want an apple. So in Arabic, there's no a or an. If you want an apple, some random apple, you just say I want apple without an indefinite article. So Arabic, in this situation, unlike English, does not use the article. However, this expresses the same function as the English indefinite article. If you just have the noun by itself, that means you want a single non-specific thing. In this case, I want some random apple. I don't care which particular apple it is. One note that I should bring up before leaving this topic is that there is a certain way that indefinite nouns in standard Arabic get marked. They take a specific type of ending called tanween. It's written as its own specific type of short vowel. However, use of tanween is not present in most colloquial dialects or when people are speaking spontaneously to each other in standard Arabic, so it is not discussed here. However, if you take more advanced Arabic classes, you will certainly hear it being discussed at greater length. But it doesn't matter for our purposes now, so I'm just going to gloss over this point. So this leaves one final group of nouns. What about the nouns in English that have no article in front of them, such as nouns that refer to general concepts, like music, or abstract things like democracy? In Arabic, you do actually put an article in front of these nouns. You put Alif Lam, the definite article, in front of them. Here are some examples. So this is a case where you have a situation where you're talking about a general concept. If you say, uhib al-halawiyat, literally that's I like the candy. But it means in English, I like candy. I like candy in general. I like various kinds of candy. There's no specific type of candy that I'm singling out. I like all of them. In English, you have no article here because you're referring to a general concept. But in Arabic, because you're referring to a general concept, you do have the definite article Alif Lam shown here in the Arabic sentence in red. Now, if you're talking about an abstract thing, like in this sentence, الشعب يريد الحقوق, literally that's the people want the rights. But the natural way you would say that in English is the people want rights. You're talking about rights as an abstract concept because rights aren't something that you can see or hear or smell. It's abstract. So in English, if you're talking about an abstract thing, that means you use no article. It's just the people want rights, not the people want the rights. But in Arabic, because this is an abstract concept, you do use the definite article. You do say al-huquq with the alif lam. So, to sum everything up, here is a comparison of the behavior of articles in English versus Arabic. To describe one specific thing or set of things, English uses the definite article the, and Arabic uses the definite article al. So in this situation, both languages act the same. For this group of things, they both use the definite article. However, when it comes to the next two categories, that's where the languages differ. To refer to one non-specific thing, English has a special article that you use to refer to such nouns. In English, you put a or an, the indefinite article, before them. However, in Arabic, such nouns have no article. You don't put anything before the noun, you just put the noun by itself. Similarly, the two languages are also different when it comes to describing a general concept or abstract thing. In English, there's no article. You just put the noun by itself. Whereas in Arabic, however, you use the definite article, Alif Lam. This has been a grammatical explanation video from the Arab American Language Institute in Morocco. Thank you very much for listening, and ma salama.